Hey you, and welcome back to City Skylines. I haven't played in a little while. Life has been so busy. It's been an amazing summer. Okay, fun times, lots of good things going on. As many of you know, I have on Saturday will be my last day of a real job. I will be doing this full time, so you can expect a lot more recordings to come. Now today though, what we're looking at is a map in City Skylines that I called the Steps of Cat. The name kind of came about during a live stream where I was building this map, or over a series of them actually. It takes me a long time to build these maps, but then I had a contest. I don't know, the name just sounded so fun, the Steps of Cat. And I thought, well, we have to come up with a story about how this, you know, relatively flat area through here had this, you know, these sort of, well, they are like steps. If you haven't seen this map yet, you can't get anywhere you want to be easily. There are ways. You know, you can, whoops, too fast. Isn't that terrible? I know. The game just runs too well, folks. It's awful. But you have to kind of wander around and go up this way. You know, there is a sort of a method to it to get from one place to the other, and for roads to function correctly. You can't just go, well, I guess now with the tunnels, when this map was created, we didn't have tunnels, but we do now. And I suppose you could just like rip through there, and it's like, no, we can't do it that way. That was, no, not yet. Not yet. So there was a contest, a short story, and the winner, I will read the winner at the end of this. So if you're interested, you can hang around and have a listen to that. But basically, the history of this area is that there were four main clans. There was a bear clan, a wolf clan, an owl clan, and the cat clan. And there is a story about how this was actually created during a very tense and scary time for this part of this group of civilizations in this part of this world. And I thought, you know, I think it'd be kind of fun to build those civilizations, to have four kind of small, distinct towns in here that looked different and felt different. And I have been sitting here for the last 15 minutes looking at this map going, which clan would I put where? Now, the clan of the cat, because of the story, I think I want them up here at the top of the hill. And when I've read you the story, you'll go, oh yeah, okay, makes sense, right? And while yeah, just cause I think the cats have got to be up here. And I'm thinking in terms of how these little these towns look. I want them to look different, and that's going to be my challenge for this map, is how do I make them look and feel different? I want very distinctive styles for each of them, and I really don't know how I'm going to do that yet, so we'll have to just see how this develops. But I think the cats, I want them at the top of this these steps, and I think high rises, and yeah, there are reasons for that, but yeah. And it looks like because of this big forest here that they will be in, you know, their money making might be forestry. That just might be how that town makes its living. And you know, you think of wild cats running through the wood, you know, it works, right? That could be a thing. For the others, you know, we have the four main sorts of natural resources, and we also have offices. You know, we've got that sort of way to make a living in a city, and all of the things are here. We've got oil, we've got ores, we've got lots of forest land, some kind of sketchy, and I'm not sure how I messed that up. I really don't. That's some pretty pathetic farmland. This is better. It looked like it might be a floodplain there. That's pretty cool. Some really good farming here at the top of this little piece, but that on the side's not going to do us any good. So there is some farming there on that, and a lot of it over here. This is pretty good. This is some nice farmland here and here for certain, and that got a little sketchy too, unfortunately. More oil, more ore. So the cats are on top. We have bears, wolves, and owls. See, the only connection I can think of is this part of the river here. Let's just start this map for a second. Now I'm going to be doing this one with the like just unlimited money, I think, and just build it for fun. I just want something that fits with the story. That's all I'm going for. Yeah, so close this up, please. Come on. This area right here, I think bears and salmon, right? When the salmon are running, the bears come in, and you know, it's usually late in the year, and they're trying to get fat before winter, and you know, put on some food that's going to keep them alive through the winter. And I'm thinking this looks like a place that salmon might run. Okay, that, yeah, okay, maybe less there, but you know, maybe this right here is the pool where they lay their eggs. I don't know, but that's all I got. I know this is not a great example, but it's all I got, so it is what it is. But you know, you can see salmon running up these rivers, right? Or maybe they run into here and that's where they lay their eggs. I don't know. But I thought bears and salmon, I can make that connection at any rate. So I'm thinking the bears will be in this area. So we've got the cats up here, and bears will be maybe down in here. And that means maybe the bears are going to be big farmers. Bears are omnivores, so they can eat salmon, they like berries, they like nuts and roots and things like that. So you know what, bears and farming, you know, we could stretch a point a little bit there, and this will work out fine. That one, that's okay. Owls and wolves, man, I got nothing. I have no idea. What else? Where else? Because, okay, we've got, if the bears are there and the cats are there, we've got area here along this side of the river. There's forest, oil, ores, there's like all the things along this strip of land here. This end of the map has a lot less in terms of natural resources. Now there is the farming available there, but there's just not much of anything else over here. So that would be a good place for offices, maybe, like an office-based. Yeah, owls. Owls are wise, right? So they don't work with their hand. They don't have hands. They're wise. So they're working with their brains. So their offices and banking and that sort of thing. Maybe shipyards here along the river. I can do this. The owls are going to live over here. The wolves, now what are we going to do with the wolves? So we have, okay, let's go back here. Yeah, I know. So the map has turned here a little bit. You know what? Let's just turn around. So we're looking at it from the same view all the time. So if I put the bears in here, and they're going to be farmers, and the cats are going to be up here with probably forestry, and I know that's the only one I have a picture of in my head. I know all the high rises, the ultimate tall buildings and stuff for them. And that part's connected to the story. There is a reason for that. If we put the owls over here and lots of offices, maybe shipping from there, I'm not really sure, but just an office-based community where that's, yeah, okay, because they're wise. And wolves, that leaves what for the wolves? We could tuck them here in the middle, but then there's this great big empty strip. So the wolves are going to have to go over here. So how do we make that tie in with wolves? Now that area has all the resources. That area is brilliant for that. I mean, yeah, there's oil, there's ores, there's forestry. Okay, well, wolves in forest, I get that. Or in oil. I got nothing. How do we... Okay, wolves run in packs. They're very social animals. Well, at any rate, I don't know. I got nothing. I'm pulling a blank, but I'm thinking in terms of how to actually build the place. Yeah, social structure is very important with wolves. They have really strong communities, really strong families. They mate for life when possible, at any rate. I'm not sure how that works out if a mate dies, but yeah, and that's got to dictate, in my head, that's got to dictate with how the actual town looks. And then the bears, farming. What do you think in bears? Farming, caves, hibernating, very seasonal. Oh, see, this is working. This is working. The farming, the seasonal, the bears hibernating in the winter. This is not that these are actual bears, but, well, they kind of were. Early days, they kind of were. And, you know, through the magic of the gods or whatever, I don't really know. I mean, they've all evolved into people, but they're very still strong with their clans, I guess. The owls are going to run a lot of the white collar industry, I guess you'd call it. And I'm feeling a little shaky on the wolves at the moment, but yeah, I want to come up with very distinctive looks for each of these towns. I want you to be able to look at them and say, okay, that one's that, that's that, and that, and they don't look the same. The road structures are different, the kind of buildings are different, all of it. So I don't know what that's going to mean yet, but I am looking forward to trying. I'm quite excited about this map, actually. This could be a lot of fun. I think I'm going to like it. Now I'm going to just pause that for a second, and I'll read you the story that has triggered this new build that I'm working on. So the steps of Categorized. Nobody really knows the old tales anymore. That's what I've told you. I'd have told you if you'd asked me 30 years ago. Okay, I'm so sorry. I just start this over. Okay, nobody really knows the old tales anymore. That's what I'd have told you if you'd asked me 30 years ago. These days, things are even worse. These days, most people aren't even aware that there are tales they don't know. Some of the young people today don't even use the full name of the steps of Categorized. They just say they're going to the steps. Sometimes they'll even say Katie's steps if they want to sound formal. I can't ever recall having heard anyone below the age of 25 use the proper name, though. There are but a few of us left who remember now. You came to the right place if you seek to learn of the past. Now make yourself comfortable, and I'll tell you about our history. It all dates back to when our town was young and the world itself was not much younger. Back then, the town was ruled by 4 great clans. First among the clans was the clan of the bear, which boasted the town's largest and strongest fighters. Second among the clans was the clan of the wolf. Those members prided themselves on their teamwork and tenacity. Third among the clans was the clan of the owl, priding wisdom and knowledge above all else. See, I got it. Then finally, least among the clans, was the clan of the cat. Unlike the other great clans, the clan of the cat had no unifying trait. Its members were too proud and too individualistic to be so categorized. One fateful day, a great giant came upon the town and made a simple demand. The town was to send forth a single warrior to fight him in single combat. Unless this champion could best him, he would destroy the town. A wave of terror spread throughout the town, for nobody knew of anyone who could stand up to so mighty a threat. First, the giant approached the elders of the clan of the bear, and he asked, "Have you any who dare stand before me?" And the clan of the bear was silent, since they only knew how to fight when they were larger and stronger than their opponents. Next, the giant approached the elders of the clan of the wolf and asked, "Have you any who dare stand before me?" And the clan of the wolf was silent, since they only knew how to fight when they outnumbered their opponent. Then the giant approached the elders of the clan of the owl, and he asked, "Have you any who dare stand before me?" And the clan of the owl was silent, since for all their knowledge, they knew of no way to fight such a foe. Finally, the giant approached the elders of the clan of the cat, and he asked, "Have you any who dare stand before me?" And before the elders of the clan could even respond, a girl of 16 summers stepped forward. The girl was Caitlin of the Cats, or Categorized as she later came to be known. "I accept your challenge," said Categorized defiantly, "but first you have to catch me." With that, she ran from the scene as fast as she could, with the giant following not far behind her. She was quick and nimble and fueled by adrenaline, but each of the giant's colossal strides brought him a little closer. Undeterred, Categorized ran to the nearest hill and up the narrow winding path that climbed to its summit. This was not a path that the giant could follow. Instead, with each step, he would stamp on the hillside, flattening it into steps that he could climb, forming the landscape we know today. Before long, Categorized had reached the top of the hill. So, looking up here, which by then the giant had entirely transformed into steps. Seeing that there was nowhere else for her to go, Katie O'Cat took a running leap from the top of the steps with the giant in a hot pursuit behind her. She knew she would fall to her death, but she hoped that the giant would follow her and share the same fate. And that is exactly what happened to the giant. But not what happened to Katie O'Cat. As she fell, the spirit of the cat surged through her, and she twisted in mire and landed lively on her feet as if nothing had happened. She left the town the same day in search of adventure, and with the promise that she would return one day when she was needed. Nobody has seen her since, but the steps that the giant formed that day still bear her name. And that is the story of Katie O'Cat. Now stay where you are while I go and make some coffee, and then I'll tell you how Briar Stone got its name. And I want this person, as you know, as LowercaseRho, to write us that story too. I want to know how Briar Stone got its name. That sounds awesome. So I want the cats up here. This is where Katie saved the day. The cats can jump and they don't fall to their death. So they're the only ones who could just take a leap and go off somewhere, right? They're the only ones that can use this as sort of a shortcut. And I'm thinking because of that ability, the tall skyscrapers, the big buildings and that kind of thing will be perfect for them. I think that'll be great. The bears, I like the whole seasonal thing, and this is the only good farming. We got the salmon run here. Yeah, this will be great. This is where we're going to put the bears. The owls are all about knowledge and wisdom. I think schools over here, the office buildings over here, the universities over here, that sort of thing. That's going to be where the owls are. The wolves, like I said, I'm a little shaky on just what they're going to, and why I'm going to justify this particular patch of land for them. But we'll come up with something. So if you have ideas or comments on that, please leave them down below. Remember to hit the like button. And this is it. Exploring the steps of Katie O'Cat. We'll be back as we build this. So look for those recordings to come. Bye-bye, guys. Have a great, great afternoon.